Again, welcome to NETT Day. This is number 14, I believe. My name is Mike Bedell. I'm Dean of the College of Business and Technology. NETT, of course, stands for Northeastern Empowerment Through Technology. And day is about today. So welcome to NETT Day. We hope we have an intriguing program for you, something that's forward-looking and thoughtful and grabs the leading edge. And so that's really the purpose. I want to thank the various faculty that have been involved in this, in putting this together. There's a faculty committee, Dave Jordan, who you met, Tunku, who's over here, Ahmed Khalid in the back, and some others that I'm missing at this point. But again, thank those faculty for putting this together. I hope you guys have a great day, and it's thoughtful, and do not hesitate to talk to these folks. Ask questions during, ask questions after. That's how you're going to learn. So thanks for being here. Have a great day.
So we have Alicia and Luisa. You want to come up and talk to us about artificial intelligence, the theme of this year's presentation?
Good morning, everyone.
Hello. My name's Alicia.
I'm Luisa.
And we're going to talk a little bit about as a company and kind of what our positions are and kind of opportunities straight out of graduation if you were interested in joining the team with United. We are both in the ECDLP program. So it's the Early Development Leadership Career Program. So this program that we're in is a rotational program. It's 2 years. We both just started in August. So we're kind of putting our toes in the water, feeling it out. We both have been with United before in the past. And again, I'm going to give you a little glimpse of the company itself and then specifically what kind of the beginning careers would look like within United.
Yeah, so before we get started, I'm going to introduce a little bit of myself and share about who I am. I was born and raised in Brazil. I moved to Michigan in 2016 with my family, and that's where I went to school. I went to Oakland University, and I got my master's in industrial and systems engineering. I got my master's actually in April this year, and I just recently joined United 2 months ago in the ECDLP program, and I'm a brand new United employee.
And I'm originally from Cincinnati, and I went to Purdue University. I graduated industrial engineering there as well, along with a minor in management. And I also just started in August. So new to Chicago, new to United, but so far so good. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Perfect. So you can go ahead and use the mic.
Okay. So before we started talking about United and the company itself, I want to ask you guys if any one of you has taken a United flight recently. Raise your hand if you did. Nice. Where'd you go to?
What was
Do you want to start it? Nice. Was it Brazil? Oh. How about you? Where did you go? DC. Nice. All right. We also have been traveling together for a couple of different destinations. We went to Nashville 2 weeks ago. It's really nice. Okay, so let's talk about United now and the company itself. United is really investing in its growth. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but the plan of growth in United is called United Next, and many parts of the company are all investing in that and planning ahead and for the future of the company. Recently, United announced that they are getting 110 new aircrafts that will be delivered until 2030. So that's a huge number, and we're really excited and looking forward to that. Right now, United is the largest carrier across both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. And United today adds many flights to the Asia-Pacific region, becoming the first U.S. airline to fly direct to Manila from the U.S.
And one of the exciting parts about expanding our fleet size is, although sometimes we're bottlenecked in like the size of the footprint of airports and different things like that, being able to fly our fleet instead of our express partnerships, which are usually smaller planes, us being able to fly our wide bodies now is just increase the number of customers we're able to get to and from their destination. So that's very exciting, trying to, utilize what we have along with growing as an airline to be able to fly more and more customers to where they need to get to. And if you were to ever happen to join United and you become someone experienced in flying non-rev, that's also exciting for us employees, because that means there's more chances we can utilize our flight benefits and get to and from places. Like I just flew home from Cincinnati this morning and it was a very easy flight because we're flying a lot larger planes in those smaller cities. So it is very exciting with us expanding the size of our true fleet size, which means we will not have to depend as much on express and partnerships. Other ways that we're transforming United is investing in our product, our people, and our technology. A few examples of this is when I interned, I worked out at the airport last summer, and there is just so much appreciation for both our staff out at corporate and also our employees working out at the airports. Those gate agents we have, our in-flight crews, pilots, flight attendants, constant, we're always having celebrations to really show our appreciation for our flight, for our crews, both within the corporate realm and people who are actually doing the operation day to day. Other ways that we're investing in our product would be, a good example would be our app. I don't know if anyone who does fly United has utilized United's app, but it is a phenomenal tool and actually falls under the department both Luisa and I work under. So a lot of our colleagues are working on the app and trying to really make that tool as great as possible and to really cater towards the customer. It does say we did recently voted best travel app on the 25th annual Webby Awards. Again, it's just kind of showing that our work is being recognized and that we really do create our app for the customers, not for ourselves, but for the people who are flying our airline. Other things about transforming United, we focus on our customers, our operation, and the communities that we're serving. I think a good example of this is United has recently implemented, it's called Connection Saver. So let's say if you're flying from DC to Chicago, and then from Chicago, you're going to take a international flight down to Sao Paulo, like Luisa. Connection Saver means that let's say your connecting flight is on time, but the flight to get you to Chicago is delayed. We are willing to take a penalty in our kind of statistics and what
Our metrics,
that's a good word. Our metrics, if it means that we're able to get our customers where they need to go. So we're willing to sacrifice that as an airline, those metrics are used to compare us. But if it means that we're able to increase the number of customers to get them to their final destination and increase kind of our overall satisfaction of our customers, we're willing to do that. So we've created our schedules and kind of just a process on how we're going to operate our flights to make sure that we're putting our customer at the very forefront of what our goal is.
All right. United has values that are called Core 4. The first one is safety. We take safety pretty seriously there. Examples of that is in 2020, we launched a Clean Plus initiative in partnership with Clorox and Cleveland Clinic. And this includes utilizing Clorox items on board and consulting with medical professionals on internal safety policies. Another great example is every time we have a meeting in the office, we always have a safety briefing before the meeting. That way we understand where is the nearest exit door, and we just are prepared for any bad things that could happen. Another example is when COVID started, United launched a feature in our app in only 1 week, and that allowed the customers to insert the vaccination cards in their app really quickly, and we're always prompt to change and take safety pretty serious.
Another one of our values is caring. And my favorite example of this is the team I'm currently on under the Analytics and Innovations team. We have a thing called Focus Fridays. So those days before you're leaving for like a holiday, so usually, that Friday before the Christmas, New Year's holiday, the Friday before Labor Day, things like that. We like to utilize Focus Fridays being, you know what, we're going to put meetings and anything in person kind of on the back burner. We want everyone to mentally spend the day doing whatever you need to do to make sure you can spend time with your family or have an extra day to just kind of spend it on yourself and make sure you're both getting your work done and also taking yourself as a priority. So I think that's a fun example of how United really embraces caring as one of its core values. Another one is dependable. And I think, again, a good example of this is back talking about Connection Saver, showing that we're willing to really put our customer first and that we will try and get you to and from your destination. And that will be our #1 priority. Another example of this is just expanding our network. So expanding the number of places that we are flying so that, if you need to get from point A to point B, United will be an option and it will be a good option. And then our 4th value is efficiency. And I think another good example of this would be actually kind of tying into AI. We're currently working on projects that, let's say, weather happens or there's IROP situation and flights get canceled, you're not able to fly in to your destination. Let's say that you were only flying into that airport because it was the cheapest option, or you actually do have like a 2 or 3 hour commute after that flight to get you to your final destination. United is willing to work with those customers and see, okay, even if this is different than what your original booking would be, how can we satisfy like your need? How can we get you to where you need to go? Let's look and see if there's a different airport that we could get you to. It may not be your booking. It may, be a little bit more on the airline's planning side, but if it's going to get you to your final destination, that's not an option. And we're trying to utilize generative AI to implement that tool, see how we can utilize not only where your current or your previous booking was, but what are all the options? Let's make this big picture and again, try and satisfy our customer. Also, another exciting thing about efficiency is I know on our new fleet that we're expanding, we're hoping to implement Bluetooth on our personal devices, which I think, again, everyone has Bluetooth devices at this point with headphones and Beats and things, AirPods, things like that. So instead of handing out all of those extra little earbuds that you probably end up throwing away later on, trying to implement, Bluetooth technology, take things that you're using in your day-to-day life and put them on our airline and again, cater towards the customer and make it the best experience we can.
At United, we take diversity, equity, and inclusion pretty seriously. To be the best airline, we have to reach a global customer base and be able to understand and connect communities all around the world. And by doing this, we have a really diverse workforce and we have to embrace individuality and differences. Like I mentioned previously, I am from Brazil and I feel really home. I feel everyone, it's really welcoming. And to make sure everyone is feeling supported and included, United also created different groups called BRGs.
Yeah, so these are different groups that we use to kind of embrace everyone's differences, but make sure you have a community in which you feel included in. So we have Beacon, which is Black Business Resource Group. Bridge is people with disabilities. Equal is LGBTQ+. Gentren is multi-generational BRG. Connect is parents and caregivers. Unite is multicultural. And then U Impact is the women's BRG. And then United for Veterans is for veterans. And the cool thing about this is a lot of the people at United are members of all of the BRGs. I know both Luisa and I go to events for every single one of these groups just as allies and just to embrace and kind of acknowledge that we know these are important events and we want to be supportive in any way we can. Even if we may not be part of that group, we want to show that we are allies and we are here to support everyone within United. So that is such a huge part of United, and there's constantly events and people are so supportive. You're always hearing people, hey, do you want to go to this event with me? Do you want to go to that event with me? It's a very inclusive environment. And I think that has been something that going into a large company, it is kind of hard to find your community. And this is a great tool that United has implemented and have been a big fan of. So kind of going off of this, to give examples of some of the things we've done. I know both Luisa and I worked with the women's BRG, so it's called U Impact. We, during our lunch breaks, there's a few different days we would go and pack up amenity kits for the Boys and Girls Club of Chicago. So not only are we doing service, but we're also then able to network with all of those other people within United. So expanding outside our, rotational program where everyone's very much in similar positions as us, similar age range, demographic, and then being able to talk with those people who are in very different areas of the company, different just stages in their career. So being part of those organizations, not only you're supporting women, but you're also being able to kind of network and meet new people. So utilizing those BRGs has been great. I know another example is we worked with the Unite, so the multicultural, and they had a wine tasting. So when we roll out our new menu for our Polaris business class flight, we have our new wine menu for the different seasons. They bring them into the corporate office and they make it a fun event. And it's, you're supporting your communities while also having a great event, networking. So they've done some really cool things working with the BRGs.
We are Chicago and Houston's hometown airline. Chicago has our first headquarters and Houston has the second one. So having said that, if you're looking for a corporate job, an office job, you're most likely be required to move into either of those places.
So yeah, if you are interested in joining United, especially out of college with a bachelor's degree, these are some of your options that you have. Both Luisa and I did intern, so we can kind of speak a little bit about our past experiences. This internship, like these metrics that are up on the screen, are specifically for a digital technology internship. So this is a little bit more of a technical role, kind of those with computer science backgrounds, engineering backgrounds, things like that. You can have a lot of flexibility. This internships usually also lead into a good transition into the ECDLP program, which is, again, the program we're in. It's not necessarily a requirement by any means to join that program, but it's a good test to see if it would be something that you would be interested in. United's internship program is, in my opinion, very, very strong. They not only are you put on a team with great mentors, but they put on so many events. Lunch and Learns is an example they have up here where they just bring in execs and they let you just kind of have a little lunch, a super casual conversation to kind of break the ice and let you network with that great network that you now have being part of United, just in a less kind of stressful or formal way. So internships are great. My internship experience, I actually interned in the airport operations. So I was out at O'Hare every day. I'm much more of a fast pace. I like kind of being around people on my feet all day. So that was a good internship for me. I absolutely loved it. I also think the value of learning operations is super valuable before going, or just at any point in your career, to see something different, knowing that I thought ECDLP was something I was going to want to do post-grad. So in that internship, again, I was out at the airport, more working with those gate agents, working with our supervisors. So a little bit different than if you wanted something different than a technical route of being more of a corporate kind of office internship. I think there's pros and cons of both, but United has a very, very large internship kind of options to find something that you are interested in it and passionate about and will enjoy. You want to talk about your internship?
Yeah, I intern actually in the team that Alicia is working in right now for ECDLP. The team is called Analytics and Innovation. I work more specifically under the TPO group, which is the Transformation Process and Optimization. So my project itself during my internship, I also had to go to the airport and help in implant a new process flow for different groups that were located there. It was a really fun experience, and we got to do things that matter to the company, that were valuable, and it's really nice seeing how we were actually able to help the airline.
And then to kind of touch on the ECDLP program, again, that is what we are both in. That is a 2-year program. So you will be, when you start dates are usually in February or August. They're usually pretty flexible about which one's going to work for your schedule. But once you start, it's 2 years, and you will join 4 different teams, each team for 6 months. So that way you're able to rotate around the company. Everything will fall under the realm of digital technology, but the specific teams you're on with under that umbrella is, all over the board. You have your options. You're able to bid on the projects that you're interested in. So you'll get a list of teams that are willing to take ECDLP members and bring them on their team, give them a mentor, also give them a project, something to work on. So that whatever team you're going on, they have, they have the bandwidth to be able to support someone new to the company, and they have valuable work that they think you'll be able to accomplish. So that is another, I think, a very strong program that United has, giving people the opportunity to find something that they're interested in and rotate around and feel out where they think they would be a valuable asset to the team. Because, again, I just graduated in May, so I understand the feeling of not knowing exactly 100% what you want to do. So having this kind of wiggle room for those 2 years to find something but continue to learn about it and the airline and learn about the company I hopefully will be staying with and continue to network has been a great experience for myself.
No, do you want to share a little bit about your current team? And
So the current team I'm on is the strategy and advanced analytics team. And we are specifically supporting the contact and call centers. The role that I'm on, my team is a little bit more on the advanced analytics and data science side. So I don't necessarily have a strong background in coding or LLMs, but again, knowing it's a rotational program, it was an experience I wanted to take because I wanted to continue to grow my more technical skills, knowing that it's a rotational program. So that way, whatever position I end up going into, once I have full-time, I kind of have this experience under my belt. I've had super great mentors. I've been able to take some online classes that United has offered to be able to grow my skills, which has been a super great opportunity for me. Other projects that we're working on, again, is utilizing different data analytics softwares. Along with the team I'm working on focuses on working with SQL and Python. So those are some, again, more of a technical role, but something I wanted to expose myself with and continue to grow my skills, knowing it's kind of more of a rotational program. So that's what I'm working on.
My team is called Product Analytics. It's also within NETT, and we focus on creating new features and analyze how the new features that we are releasing in the United.com website and the mobile app are doing. People are using it. What are the types of problems that they are facing? So we work as also data analysts, and my background in industrial engineering is don't completely align with what I'm doing now, but this is the good thing about the ECDLP program, because you can explore a bunch of different areas and maybe fall in love with something that you didn't even know.
So some other examples of job or different roles you can be on within the ECDLP program and also the internship program as well. Under digital technology, that includes like cybersecurity, that includes data analytics, that also includes, I know we have a few people who are UX designers working on like our website, we have people working on our app. I know there's some people who are working on like creating training for our pilots or our in-flight crew, working on applications that our gate agents will use to check people in, things like that. So across the board, there's even people in our program who are working on network planning. So more, again, the operations side. So looking at where are we flying? What are our networks? What is the demand for different areas? And how can we, again, get as many of our customers to the destinations that they want to go to? So huge, vast variety of positions you can take under ECDLP, which is digital technology.
So like I mentioned previously, it doesn't matter where you go to. If you join United as an intern or ECDLP, you will make an impact in the company. the roles that you're going to be assigned are taken pretty serious, and we want you to feel valuable.
And I do think the cool thing about both the internship program, if it's a digital technology internship, or the ECDLP program, is you are given a list of different projects that our teams have bid or put out for our employees to bid on. So that way you're able to see what your options are and you're able to choose something that you would actually be interested in. And I think when you're able to choose a project to work on and see kind of what your options are, I really do think you take more ownership of that project, and it's just something that you're more interested in. Something I think you're a lot more willing to kind of go above and beyond. It's easier to buy into that team, buy into your project when it's something that you're passionate about. And United has done a great job of trying to find people's passions and put them in the direction to be able to pursue that. So especially as an intern, being able to kind of have that flexibility of picking what you want to work on, or at least get on a team or focus on a skill you want to improve. I think United does a great job of letting you kind of choose your own path. And I think that really does translate to people within the program taking ownership and kind of really embracing whatever project or team they end up on.
And another cool fact too is that we have a really high retention rate of interns that transition into full-time employees. And that shows how much the environment and the community that we have in the company is great, and people want to come back. And that's what happened with us. We just loved it, and here we are.
There we go. Skip the short. And the fun part of working for Unite, not that everything else, your day-to-day office job isn't fun, but another great perk is, you are an employee, whether you're an intern level, ECDLP associate, CEO, you have the same flight benefits. So you're able to fly standby to all of these fun destinations, both as an intern, and now I've been able to utilize a lot of those benefits. I know Luisa talked about us going down to Nashville like 2 weeks ago. Again, I'm from Cincinnati. I'm a big Bengals fan. So granted the game sucked, but I still got to go down there. It was on a whim kind of thing. Such a great experience and so fun. I know last summer, actually, I lived with 3 other girls that we all interned for United together. And I made incredible friendships through that. We traveled together a lot. One of my favorite trips I know was we went down to San Diego and stayed a few days in La Jolla. And that was a memorable trip. I know I will remember that forever. And just being able to stay in contact with kind of college friends, people that I think that's a great tool or benefit of being able to fly standby, is keeping connections with people out of college or just in different phases of life. It gets so hard when just physical distance gets in the way, and being able to have this benefit is something that I've been able to, go and see friends from schools that have moved, far away, and being able to just go home for my family for, my little sister's basketball games and lacrosse games and things like that. It is a great tool. It's fun. It's also, I think, has been very valuable to my friendships and relationships with my family. So it's great benefit.
I completely agree. Like I said, I'm from Brazil, so very often I can go visit my family that's down there. It's just an amazing privilege that we have. I think my favorite trip was to Amsterdam. I went there for the weekend, and it was super fast, but it was super fun. So if you join United, you'll have all these privileges, and it's amazing.
All right. Does anybody have any questions before we step down? Huh?
And the apply. Oh, there we go.
Oh, and if you are interested in applying for either an internship, ECDLP program, or even, I do believe this link will send you to our career page, so you can kind of go back and find something that you think would fit for you. Go ahead and scan this QR code. It is created for this event, so you can go ahead and apply straight through this link. Mm-hmm. I did it after my junior year. So yep, while you're still in school, a lot of the internships are encouraged for while you're still pursuing your bachelor's degree. The ECDLP program, I do believe requires a bachelor's, like completed degree. Mhm. So it's completely dependent on whatever team you end up on, and what the bandwidth that in their budget and what they have. But from my experience and just from talking to other people within my program, because it's a rotational program and they want you to kind of grow in this 2-year period, they're very lenient or very willing to get you into a class that if you're interested in. So it is specific to your team, because once you're on that team, you're not under ECDLP, you're under your team that you're on. And then they have a certain number of license and certain number of bandwidth they have to give out classes and the budget for that. But they're usually very willing to. And then we also have our own website that we partner with called Pluralsight, and that has not specific like certifications, but just continuing education classes, videos, tools, quizzes, things like that to continue to kind of further education and different skills like that. Correct.
For sure.
The digital technology, there is no specific, like you do not have to have a certain science background or computer science or engineering. Those were just 2 examples. Those are more popular, but we have had marketing, we've had business. It is completely, as long as you're interested in it and you go through the application process, there's no requirements on the degree that you're pursuing. Oh, it's a fun game. Well, I will say flying depends on your destination, depends on time of the day, depends on the day of the week, depends on, I've seen flights where there are 100 people on the standby list and -4 open seats. And I've seen flights where there's 100 open seats and no one's on the list. So depends on, it's a fun game. Once you join the company, if that's something that you end up doing, it's a fun learning curve too.
Yeah, you
see how
cannot
it works.
really plan a trip ahead of time with standby.
That is the cardinal sin working within at least at United, within the airline industry, is if you book a hotel before you're sitting on the plane, you just jinxed yourself right there. You will not make it. You don't book anything till you get that 5-minute window period from when we take off to when you lose your cell service, and that is your window, but it makes it fun. So
Any other questions? Right.
thank you guys.